Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com. Time to not discuss watches. Let's do something that, I don't know, might interest you. It may not. A little studio tour in this room that I film in all the time. You see just a small snapshot of what the room is. So I'll show you around the room, and I'll also talk about, I guess, a little more in depth about what is behind me, these few items. So let's get started. And here we go. So I am your tour. So I'll stand in the middle of the room, and I'll give you a quick spin. I'll zoom out a bit. There's a bathroom. So interesting, I do film right next to a bathroom, and the sign that says ladies was there when we moved in. We just never took it off. That is a blanket covering a door and a window that leads to the rest of the office. Another window leading outside, but again, for light and noise, keep it covered with a blanket, mostly for light, because there's a lot of natural light here. Conference room. The studio doubles as a conference room. So we'll have some meetings in here if we have vendors come in. A whiteboard, which conveniently says hi right now. And then as I continue to turn, this is where I generally do all the handiwork with the watches. It's a little lit up mini studio. It took me a long time to figure out what I like and how I like it set up. But I settled on one of these guys. It's kind of infinitely white on the inside, and it's got a white ceiling, and then my digital camera kind of points through the top. I have it on this gantry kind of thing with a little counterweight so it doesn't flop over. An extra light is right here, another window. And I will step back. Little shelving unit holds a lot of just miscellaneous knickknacks and filming stuff, a watch box, extra mics, extra lenses are up there, some other backdrops, wooden shingles, you might remember those. There's a whole bunch of stuff, felt, stuff crap I've accumulated over the years. There's more mics down there, chargers, briefcases for the lights. These are the lights that I use. Cheap, but they do the job. And now that I'm looking at that far wall, so that wall, the other side of that wall is the main warehouse. And I'm going to go up. I am in a 14-foot clear, means basically 14 feet to the lowest thing you see. Galvanized and cinder block steel echo chamber. So one of the first things I did was cover that whole entire wall with acoustic foam. So it really it does deaden the noise on the other side, although the body mic I wear kind of does the best job at that. But really what it's for is just to kill the echo, because if that's not there and then the carpet's not on the floor, this is just a total tin echo chamber, and it is totally crazy. Tripod that stuff usually stands on, an extra tripod that I have right here. And that's pretty much the studio. It's more or less a converted office. Where I am, main warehouse, a garage type of warehouse also, and then 2 offices. So I commandeer one of the offices to simply be the studio, and then the other office is where Ryan and I sit most of the time. So I will tripod up the camera, and we'll talk about this cool thing here. Okay, so when you watch my videos, behind me and to the right, you see 2 things, a clock and the Instagram counter. The Instagram counter, you kind of know what that is. That's the number of followers I've got on the Long Island Watch Instagram. It is a mechanical flip clock, or kind of flip type display, and it updates. You can set it to update as often as you want in real time if you desire. Mine updates, I think, twice a day. And so the little flippers, in some videos you've actually seen it go, it starts to increment as I'm standing there. Maybe we'll gain a couple followers a day or whatever. Pretty cool. They make them, it's from a company, zero affiliation with any company you're going to hear about today. Smirl, S-M-I-I-R-L. I think they're in France. They make an Instagram one. They make a Facebook one. And they also make customizable ones that you can attach like any real metric to if you're into tracking metrics and stuff, and you can grab them from the internet through a little script. It will display them, so kind of cool. But the crowning achievement is this guy. I'm going to lower the exposure a bit, try to get a little more out of it. So this is a geochron. Geochron is the name of the company, Kilberg Geochron, out in Redwood City, California. One of these was featured in The Hunt for Red October, in the office of the James Earl Jones plays the character. I forgot his name in the movie, but it's in his office. And it has basically been supplanted nowadays by free digital screensavers. It is a moving sunlight curve of the Earth. So the parts that you see lit up in the middle, they're currently experiencing daylight. The whole Earth, the whole map is moving this way. See, it's Thursday, right? Thursday to the right of the dateline, Friday to the left of the dateline. So if you live in, let's see, let's pick a city, Paris. Right there, Paris, France. Paris, France will be going to nighttime. Oh, probably about an hour, a little less than an hour. It is 3 p.m. here right now. And if you live in Vilnius, Lithuania, the home of Vostok Europe watches, you are in darkness. It just got dark there. And maybe if you're in, let's see, Tokyo. Looks like Tokyo is coming into daylight soon. It is Friday over there. So it's really cool. The whole thing moves. There's also another little orange dot here. This is the sun. The sun traces an analemma through the whole year. That's what it's called. And that's due to the tilt that the Earth is at, also the wobble of its, how it revolves around the sun. You get apparent solar time, mean solar time, real solar time, all this stuff. Anyway, video for another day. Talk about this stuff. It's not an astronomy video. But basically, this is the position of the sun above the Earth at noon, not daylight time, at noon every day. This is the path it traces. Look up analemma online. It actually is pretty cool. People have photographed it, and it's pretty nifty. You have a little calendar down here. Today is May 18th, I hope. Right of the date line, yep, May 18th. How do you tell the time? I'm in New York. I'm right here. Again, this really isn't for time telling. It's more as a display piece, right? But I'm in New York. I'm right there. I'm in time zone R. I follow R up to the top. Daylight savings time for R is 1500 hours, or just after 1500. It is indeed 3:05 on the Sands Point. I look up here. Here's a little minute indicator. So 3:08 by the clock. A couple minutes fast, but not bad for a fully mechanical clock. There is a power switch for the light. I can turn it on and off as I desire. Usually turn it on for filming, or if I'm going to be in here because it's cool to look at. And now just for, I guess, shits and giggles, I can move the calendar forward to the time and look at the sunlight curve. See the curve? See as the sun gets more towards the middle and comes down, we approach the vernal equinox. As it approaches the equator, I'm sorry, that was the autumnal equinox, right? We're in October, September. And then dead of winter, shortest daylight time on the top of the Earth. And then, now we're coming into the vernal equinox. 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of nighttime. Again, we're passing 0 degrees on the equator. And here we come, and we're getting into more and more daylight for us in the northern hemisphere. And we're gonna get to right around the 18th. And that's where we are today. That's the geochron. They make all different kinds of maps for political maps, like terrain maps, all sorts of stuff. Really cool. They are pricey, but it's kind of a pretty cool thing. Let's head on over to the other side and see what's over there. Hi, my name is Mark, and I'll be your tour guide today. Over on this side, there's, let's go a little more in frame. There's just a few things on this shelf, and then the thing over here that I definitely talked about in a previous video, but I want to show it to you up close. This is a clock. People say, oh, your logo is pointing the wrong way. No, this is a clock that somebody made me. Check that out. Super cool. So the middle is a minute's hand. It's that little nib right there, and this is the hour hand. So it's supposed to be a little after, it's 3:08, and that is, oh, look at the time. Let me do straight up and down. There you go. So big hand pointing to about the 3, and the little hand is about at 8. It's kind of tough to get it to go straight up and down if I hold it like that. You kind of get the idea. It does work. It is super cool. I was super appreciative of it. I gave the guy a free Northport when he sent it to me because I was just like so freaking enamored by it. Little steam engine. kind of like a model. It's a Stirling engine actually given to me by my marketing guy Clinton years ago. You put a hot cup of coffee under it and the engine will start to turn through pressure differentials and stuff. Pretty cool, but kind of exemplifies who I am, so I thought I'd keep it up there. And then I have two of these. There's one of these is behind my chair in my office. This is a Galileo. I'm guessing a lot of you probably know what this is. Encased in this glass tube is a clear fluid, and then each of these little spheres is sealed and has a different colored and different density fluid inside. Hanging from each of them is a weight. I don't know if you can see it. Excuse me. And it has a temperature on it. Basically, the temperature on the lowest floating ball is the nearest temperature in the room you're in. That is 68 right now, and this one down here is 64. So it's between 64 and 68 right now, and actually there is a thermostat right there, and I can see it indeed says it is 66. So it is correct. I guess I have two of these. I don't want to drop it. And then this one, I've done a video on this in the past. Is it fast? No, well, it's a couple minutes fast. I got to adjust it again. The temperature of this room kind of fluctuates a lot, so this clock is very temperature dependent. This is a Jaeger called Atmos. The Atmos runs on temperature and pressure differential. There's a bellows in the back that is pressurized or has a very low vapor pressure material in it, and it expands and contracts a whole bunch in the changing of the atmosphere in the room. And what that does is it winds a little spring basically in the form of a chain and lets go, and it's got a very sensitive escapement, and you can see the timekeeping pendulum at the bottom. As it turns one way and then it turns the other way. It's hanging from a very, very fine wire. It's extremely susceptible to vibration. You gotta be very careful with it. They do break very easily. There's only a couple people in the country that can service them. This one, I forgot, I looked up the age of this one, 30, 40 years old or so. I picked it up on eBay for like 700 bucks, and then I probably spent another $800 having someone service it. But it's really nifty. It's a clock. It's as close to perpetual motion, I think, as humans are going to get. So I like it. And people see it and they're like, oh, my grandparents have the same clock. And they probably do, because it was a popular clock back in the day. And I don't know, I just really, really enjoy it. I think that's it. There's really not that much more. Remember this? There's not that much more interesting to show here. Maybe one day I'll do more of a tour inside, but yeah, I'm kind of hokey on that. I don't mind doing it in here. But that's it. This has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, giving you a little backlot studio tour. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so. Questions, comments, I don't know, anything you want to say, put it down below and I'll be sure to address it as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.